Hi friends, welcome to Story Time with Miss Tammy. Today's a special story time. First of all, I'm outdoors. I don't do that a whole lot, but it's so beautiful, so warm. I'm out here enjoying the great day. Today's a special day for story time because we're going to focus on a special day that's coming up. I have my November 2020 calendar. It's still October, but in a few weeks, we have a special day on November 3rd, Tuesday, November 3rd, where grown-ups in our life, 18 years old and older, will be doing something called voting. It's called Election Day. So I thought we'd read a story about someone who wants to vote. Now, what does the word vote mean? Well, think of it this way. Have you, with your family, ever all decided, what should we have for supper? And mom or dad will give you a few ideas, and then you vote as a family. And the selection that had the most choices, the people who picked that one the most, say we have hamburgers or grilled cheese, which one do you pick? And the one that gets the most votes, the people who selected that one, the more people, that's the one that wins the vote. So maybe you do that with games. I know we did that. What game do you guys want to play? What puzzle do you want to put together? What book should we read? So you vote on that. And that's what grown-ups get to do. And I thought we'd read a really cool book on that. And that is called Monster Needs Your Vote. And I am thrilled to share this book with you. It's written by Paul Sajak and illustrated by Wendy Grebe. And the publishing company is Mighty Media Kids. And if you go to their website, mightymediakids.com, you will find lots of activities that you can do regarding this book. But parents, before we get started, I'd like to share with you that in the next few days, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, we are going to have these available to you, some ideas on tips for kicking off the voting conversation with your little citizens. I think they have some phenomenal ideas, and so we're going to have that available for you to pick up at our local library, Plum Library. So I'd like to share this story with you, and then I'm going to tell you some things that are happening at the library this Tuesday and Wednesday between the hours of 10 and 2 o'clock at Plum Borough Community Library, following you watching this reading of this story. So let's read about Monster Needs Your Vote. And it's by Paul Sajak and illustrated by Wendy Grebe. Let's get started. Wonder why Monster would need our vote. What are we going to choose him to do? Let's get started. Monster needs to cast his vote to pick the president. I want to be part of this incredible event. I said to Monster, "Don't be mad. I know it may sound mean, but you are not allowed to vote. You need to be 18. Remember we said that grown-ups are voting, but they have to be 18 or older. Then I will run for president," Monster said to me. "I'll give a voice to young and old, from 2 to 93. So he decided he wants to be president. "Monster, what's your platform? Why should people vote for you?" "Summer should be longer, and a fix is overdue." He grabbed a soapbox, went to town, and talked about the seasons, how summer should be twice as long, and listed several reasons. Why, that's a good reason. He wants summer to be longer. That's why he should be president. Monster's oratory skills were filled with monster flair, but no one stopped to listen, and the people left the square. So they weren't listening to him, were they? "Monster, maybe summer isn't what the voters need. Perhaps a change of issues if you're going to succeed." "Dessert for dinner," Monster said, "is where my passion lies. So Monster ran on eating sweets, which seemed a bit unwise. Do you think that's a good reason to pick a Monster to be president? A chocolate cake on every plate, a pie in every pot. Monster spoke at town hall, but his words were all for naught. So people weren't too interested in what he was talking about, having dessert all the time. I said to Monster, I don't think they're interested in treats. You'll need a different issue to get voters in these seats. I'm confused with politics and what it's all about. No one seems to like me, so I guess I'll just drop out. Monster looked discouraged. He was ready to resign, meaning he wanted to be done and quit. But he became inspired when he saw a closing sign. Take a quick look. Do you see the closing sign on the public library? Uh-oh, the library was ready to close. The library is closing. That's a crime that can't take place. To fail on education is a national disgrace. Would you like it if your library closed? I would not like that. We started with a grassroots movement, going door to door with posters saying, reading turns your voice into a roar. Protecting schools and learning tools was Monster's major mission, and in debates from state to state, he crushed the opposition. The voters loved his message, and his campaign came alive, that is, until they realized he wasn't 35. Did you know that in order to be president, you have to be 35. You have to be 18 in order to vote, and you have to be 35 years old to be the president or older. Monster, you're not old enough to be the president. The law's the law. We have to stop. There is no argument. How do you think he'll deal with that? It's not about me winning, but the message I convey. A fight for education, I hope, never goes away. So it didn't matter that he couldn't be president. He just wanted to pass along the message of, let's keep the library open. Monster was persistent, and his message kept on growing. Even on election day, there were no signs of slowing. And there's a sign here that says, I believe in Monster. Monster made a difference, though he was too young to run, and Monster's roar in politics had only just begun. And guess what? I love the ending of this because it says grand reopening. So even though he wasn't president, he was able to do good things for his public library and reopen it. I think that is awesome. He might be too young, but he kept on going with his message. So, boys and girls, Election Day is Tuesday, November the 3rd, and grown-ups who are 18 years or older will be voting for President of the United States and Vice President, and there's other things and other people that will be running. But do you happen to know what a president does? I thought we'd talk about that. First of all, a president is a leader of our country. You probably know that. But also he signs or she signs the laws of our country, and the laws are rules. So the next thing the president does is he meets with other leaders and they try to solve the problems of the world. And there's lots of those, so that's what a president tries to do. And lastly, the president leads our armed forces. Our armed forces, like the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, they keep our country safe. So those are really, in a very simple way, 4 things that the President of the United States does. And we get to vote on that in the next few weeks. So I hope that you'll encourage people in your home to make sure they come and vote. But the next thing I'd like to talk about is something that I want you to do. I told you I brought 4 friends with me today. I brought Daniel Tiger. Hey Daniel, what's happening? I brought Clifford, the big red dog. I brought Dr. Seuss, the Cat in the Hat. And I brought Curious George. They will be at Plum Library in the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, and I want you to come and I want you to vote, cast your ballot it's called, and come on over to Plum Library and choose who you would pick. If you could pick someone to run for president, and I might add, we are also going to add Monster in there because he did want to run. So we're going to let you pick. I want you to come over to the Plum Library, color in a star, 1 star, pick a president, and I want you to maybe tell your grown-up, or you can write in yourself, why do you think your person, your animal, should be the president? What good things could they do for our country? So then we'll pick, we'll count all the ballots after those 2 days of voting, and we'll see who gets to be our president of our library for a while. And second of all, besides casting your vote at the Plum Library, we would like you to come and make a voting button. We have voting buttons with Clifford's picture, with Monster's picture, with Cat and Hat's picture, with Curious George's picture, and there's Daniel's picture. So we would like you to come color one of those buttons, and it also says the word vote. We'll turn it into a button for you, and you can wear it home. And maybe that will encourage some of your grown-ups in your home or your neighborhood to go out and vote. So we hope that you will do your part, and even though you might be too young to vote or to be president, come on over, join the fun, and just get some idea of the voting process. We're going to cast our ballots. We're going to vote for one of our friends, storybook friends, and I hope to see you soon. Before I leave, we always do a goodbye song, and it goes like this. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Bye. Thanks so much for joining me for my story time. Monster needs your vote. We at Plum Library need your vote. Stop over on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Come cast your vote on which storybook character you would like to see be president, and tell us why. And also make a voting button. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.